this episode had the soul of Shaman King through and through. We got so much and more. Let's break down Shaman King episode 6 titled Yoh versus Horohoro. I'm Dimsy, the guardian ghost of the Shaman tribe. We recently zoomed past 100 subs and we are eternally grateful. So if you enjoy the content or you want to see more, leave a like, comment and consider subscribing because we want to get to 1000 as soon as possible. But thank you for your support. Let's talk about the episode. The first couple of minutes, they deal with the fallout of Chrome's murder. Who is Chrome? Chrome is one of the 10 officiating priests of the Shaman tournament, very similar to Silver. So they examine or they test the participants to then participate in this tournament. Unfortunately, Ren murdered Chrome, and these first couple of minutes, they give us so much information which we might not really understand at this point, but we will later on. One thing we do learn is that the Patch tribe, they're not good, nor are they evil. They are simply neutral, and sometimes being neutral is worse than being evil, and sometimes being neutral is better than being good. But that's quite rare, because Silver, he arrives thinking what's going on, and he's the only one in casual wear and everyone else is in their traditional garb. And they even say, come on, show some respect, this is a bloody funeral. And Silver's like, what on earth is happening? He's shocked, he's disgusted, he's angry that one of his own, one of their brethren were murdered. And what are they going to do about it? Well, nothing at all. And this is exactly why Shaman King, this episode, they justified Ren's continued participation perfectly, whilst also building him up as a threat. They mentioned that he's really strong, he's immensely strong, but Asakura Yoh defeated him. And wasn't it weird how Asakura Yoh learned his oversoul so quickly, therefore justifying Yoh's strength, which Yoh does again later on in this episode. We're gonna touch upon that in a bit. But Ren didn't even participate. He had no dialogue in this episode, yet he was a constant presence, or he was a big presence, especially in the beginning and also by the end. We are reminded about him, and again, this is great storytelling. And you wonder, what are they planting with Silver showing some level of dissent? Because they're telling him, listen mate, you need to calm down, because what we find out is that the Great Spirit isn't as omnipotent as we may think or as been presented, because he can't really tell the future per se. And if Ren had the strength to kill an officiating priest, therefore he might have the potential to become the Shaman King. And then we get great comedy, especially in the form of probably my favorite character so far in the series, and that is Anna. Anna is accusing Yoh, who just qualified for the Shaman tournament with his battle with Silver. She's accusing Yoh of cheating on him. She's saying, who is this Silver-san? Oh, I bet she has long black hair. And that's funny because Silver does have long, luscious black hair. I'll touch upon and I'll really expand on it by the end of the video, but each of these characters and their personalities really did shine and were very distinct in how they are portrayed in this episode. Now, Manta, given the explainer of the rules for this part of the tournament, where he obviously wrote it down from the Oracle Bell, again, Manta is making himself very useful. We as the audience acknowledge this when Horohoro even says, why is a weird guy like him hanging around shamans? And we as the audience know that Manta is our audience surrogate. He's our representative in this story. He's a researcher, he's a realist. And the thing is, Manta's realism will naturally make him worry more and become more and more pessimistic. But when Amidomaru reassures him and states that Yoh's motto is that everything will work out, it not only reassures Manta but also the viewer. It tells us, the viewer, that Yoh has influenced others around him without even trying, and this is built further on in the episode. Now, this was all within 5 minutes of the episode, as Yoh grins really wide as he wears his t-shirt with a big picture of a green ass leaf, and that is of course weed. Now, if you're wondering, is this a coincidence? No, check out our video on the channel where we covered culture, religion and drugs in Shaman King. I'm gonna to link that down below. Now, Horohoro's introduction was so funny. Oh my god, it was so funny. Just before he appeared, Yo made a comment about how weird of a name Horohoro is. Afterwards, Anna hands Yo a handmade outfit, to which they were like, oh, what's this? And when they found out it was handmade, both Yo and Manta were like, oh no, it's beautiful, it's amazing, it's very aesthetic. And then Horohoro's first words, his first sentence was telling Yo how stupid he looks, just like his name, Asakura Yo. What? How brash, how brave of him. He even gawks in disbelief when he finds out that Yo and Anna are betrothed. He's just so funny, and mind you, he looks very cool. His design, his color palette is just done so well. Unfortunately, his comments and his demeanor towards Yo and Anna leaves him with an uppercut from Anna, which only adds to the humor. This feels like Shaman King through and through. It not only marries the comedy, that carefree nature that we got in the manga, but also in the old 2001 anime. We also had a nice culture dump in the episode after Yo wondered what kind of name is Horohoro, and then Manta chimed in saying that he was probably from the Ainu people, an indigenous people from the Hokkaido region of Japan. And this is confirmed when Horohoro arrives, saying that he is the pride of the Ainu. The fight itself was okay, although it was very vivid and had great art. The animation was static and not very imaginative to my liking. It could have been better. But the battle was showcasing some nice moves from both parties, but it really was just used to hit home one important fact, that Yo is strong and his strength is justified even when it surprises everyone else. Throughout the fight, even Anna was shocked at how strong he is, but Yo then says it very clearly that he has the strongest samurai spirit. In addition, he has Harusame, which is extra strong due to the bond between Mosuke and Amidomaru, as it's like having a supercharged weapon that's been marinating and gaining strength over the past 600 years. We know how connected Yo and Amidomaru are, and much of the moves Yo showcased was muscle memory of Amidomaru's moveset. Everything was made clear and it made sense to why Yo is so strong. But let's talk about Horohoro. His guardian ghost is Kororo, who is a higher spirit that gives him an ice attribute moveset and is a nature spirit. So you'd think, okay, he's really strong, and this is why it was used to make Yo look much stronger, because naturally you'd think Horohoro having a higher spirit, a holy spirit if you want to put it that, puts him at a strong advantage. Yet Amidomaru, who is a human spirit, is able to match, if not exceed, the strength of Kororo. Yo wanted to know Horohoro's dream before fighting, and to the surprise of many, everyone's like, why would you want to know that? Horohoro stated his dream. Whilst others were laughing, Yo cried, because Yo is empathetic. This is where it gets so funny though. Yo said that he'd rather let Horohoro become the Shaman King because of his dream is more honorable or is more meaningful than his own. And this horrified Anna, who knocks some sense into him. That's such a funny moment, yet so endearing. You really do start loving Yo. If you don't love Yo by now, I don't know. Maybe your heart is made out of stone, or it's made out of steel, or maybe you don't have one. Yo decides to take on Horohoro's dream and make it part of his own dream to justify Yo's continued participation in the Shaman King tournament. A very logical conclusion. The fight was more so a character analysis of Yo and his behavior during combat, and even still, he maintains his identity. He stays true to himself. Silver remarks alongside another Patch Tribe member that exact sentiment. Yo then defeats Horohoro by surviving his ultimate avalanche move. When they head back home, we are reminded that Ryu even exists, and there's more jokes that follow. It's great to see. Up until this point, Yo has not met another super cool shaman on screen. Ren was not what he expected. Ryu is a newly awakened shaman, Manta is a human, and Anna is not a combatant. And many people might even argue that she's not even that nice. Horohoro seems to resonate with Yo, but he has his own ideals. He doesn't have a carbon copy of Yo's mannerisms, nor is he a copy of Yo in itself. You can see that they get along because their ideals and attitudes just don't clash. This point is really hit home by the end of the episode as we are introduced to Horohoro's little sister Pirika, who is the anchor of seriousness to Horohoro's character. She grabs Horohoro and takes him away, and the phrase that Yoh says to Horohoro is so important on so many levels. Yoh says with sympathy and sympathetic anime tears, "You too, Horohoro?" This cements that Yoh is truly understanding Horohoro's character because he understands the dynamic that he has with his sister, because it's similar to the dynamic that he has with Anna as they work them to the bone. This is why Yoh and Horohoro will become great friends, even in a tournament where there can only be one Shaman King. The episode ends with someone warning Silver to advise Yoh to forfeit or he's gonna die for sure. And the final shot is of that new combatant, that new killer, his next opponent. As fans, we know who that is, but we're going to talk about that in the next episode. This episode was just great, probably the best so far. It allowed every character or group of characters to really establish their ethos and what they're all about. We saw a lot of personalities from every character on screen. We got an understanding of why Yoh is so strong and an idea of how he compares to the others. And this is why they were hyping up Ren, who killed Chrome, a patch tribe priest, and then saying, oh, by the way, Yoh defeated Ren. So this says that not only is Ren a threat, but Yoh is able to match him. He's very, very strong. Speaking about Ren, he's being built up very nicely. Even when there's no dialogue of him in this episode, he doesn't speak. He doesn't even make an appearance in the present tense. We also get an idea that the patch tribe officials again are neutral, as stated earlier, and that might play into the story later on. They are sowing the seeds which they're going to pay off later on, and there were so many seeds that were sowed. Is Silver going to stay part of the patch tribe? Is he going to betray them? Will he follow their ideals even by the end? So many story beats, and all of these story beats were introduced very early on so many different levels and different times. The comedy was classic and hit every single beat. Anna is a beast, but Horohoro is just a savage. I really enjoyed this episode. Did you? What was your favorite moment? Let me know down below and consider subscribing. Take care.